What's happening, y'all? This is Anthony David. You are on YouKnowIGotSoul.com.
About to release this new album, Love Out Loud, coming soon. Can you just introduce us to the project briefly?
Well, yeah, I'm Anthony David. This November 13th, releasing my 4th studio album, Love Out Loud, which is really just Love Out Loud is an expression. You know what I mean? Just showing love. That's what music is to me. It's love out loud. It is someone empathizing with your pain, empathizing with your pleasure, your joy, all that stuff. So it's for me, it's a little more of an experimental album. You know, in my first 3 albums, I kind of felt like I got a lot of stuff out of the way in terms of what I wanted to say, and then I'm in this phase where it's like, okay, well, let me listen and see what I like. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of liberating. So love out loud.
Okay, and you know, you're known for your lyrical content and some of the content you've had on previous albums.
Yeah.
What influenced you this time around?
Lyrically, this time I'm a big podcast listener, so I like Joe Rogan. I like him a lot, and just who else? A lot of podcasts. Infinite Monkey Cage is one I like, and just so that's what I kind of ride around listening to. Other singer-songwriters from the past, and then production-wise, I got into Alan Parsons' project, Stephen Bishop, just songwriters, you know, that from any era. I have a playlist on my Spotify. It's just like grooves that I like. So that's kind of where the inspiration came from. Just kind of each zone that would come from talking, any kind of mood that came from things that I heard, you know, in conversation or through podcast or watching somebody lecture or something, to the moods that I heard from classic songs of any era, from Bjork to, like I said, Stephen Bishop and Alan Parsons or any kind of thing. I just kind of touched them up and, you know, approached each song that way.
All right. Okay. And I read in your bio you were backed on this project by your band, the Do-Gooders, in the studio to help you kind of create a different type of sound. You know, how did that affect the sound of the project overall?
Yeah, worked heavy with the band. We call them the Do-Gooders. We was on the road pretty heavy on the last record, and we got the solid band. It's like not really interchanging folks out. So, you know, we've been building up vocabulary with them and taking in some of their influence. There's some rock influence from my guitar player Brandon. He kind of lends his ear to that kind of thing. My drummer is pretty solid, you know what I mean? So I like to get his feel on grooves that I might write, and I'm like, well, show me how you would do this, you know what I mean? Take it home. So worked heavy with them and really brought in their, even if I made a track, they would kind of flesh it out more and, you know, get their syncopation on stuff, their groove. You could feel it throughout.
Okay. So, you know, I read a quote from you also in the bio. This album is a blend of where you started and, you know, where you've evolved to. Yeah. So, you know, what kind of has this journey been like, and where is it taking you to now? Yeah,
well, you know, I started out acoustically. And then, you know, as a songwriter, I just used the tools that are at my access. And the first tool was the guitar. So 3 Chords and the Truth was all acoustic. But touring with that was like, I loved it, but it wasn't the whole mood I wanted to have. I'd be sitting on the stool like, okay, when do I get up? You know what I mean? And, you know, adding the band to it, without, you know, the subsequent albums had, you know, beats and whatnot, but adding, you know, getting to know my band and them getting to know me was able to blend those worlds, the acoustic world and the whatever other world I want to bring into it. When you know what you're doing and you're synchronized with the people you're working with, then you can take people to these worlds real subtly instead of like, all right, I'm about to get up now. You know what I mean? It's like by the time I'm up, when they segue for me, it makes all those things pass through each other effortlessly. And I think, you know, music-wise, genre-wise, I can kind of go to those things more easily now, which is what we did on this one.
Okay, and you've got the single out, Sweet Pain.
Yeah.
You know, we're fans of that single. Just talk about the creation of the song.
Sweet Pain is perfect example of what I was saying about with the idea of like inspiration from different grooves. You know, we dealt with, you know, the Isley Brothers, Footsteps in the Dark. I like that the beat, you know what I mean? And then then from that vibe that gives you, and then some of the melodic techniques, I guess you would say, that Marvin Gaye would employ over that. So that's a blend of those worlds and then whatever I bring to it lyrically, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of listening to classic stuff and going, man, I like that move. Like, how do they do that? And, you know what I mean? Being a student.
Got you. Now, you know, you found this unique niche in R&B. That's something else that was mentioned in your bio, you know, in the landscape of things. Do you think that's something that, you know, more a testament to what you've achieved, or kind of the way things are shifting?
I think it's more the way things are shifting. And I guess in terms of where I play in it, I embrace it and want to push it. You know, in our field, like I listen to even what's that new song? Somebody that I used to know was saying. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm not sure who's saying something. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I can't remember the song, but everybody knows that damn song.
Yeah.
Great song, and there's some like lyrical, like poetic value to it, and in that genre of music, people are okay with that. You know what I mean? And people are okay with that, and say even like a Foo Fighters song, you like will peep out, you know, or lots of people in other genres, you'll peep out what they say, or they're not pinned down to certain topics all the time, and they can definitely be more abstract. Whereas in R&B, even though it used to be more like that, and it definitely can, you know, people don't, the fans of it act like that's not what they want, and then other people are either fans of the shallow part of it, or just don't like it at all because they know it's going to be shallow. And to me, it's like, well, it could be everything those other things are. You know what I mean? Because it was, and you know, you could give it a ear. You know what I mean? I listen to whatever has some content that shakes me up. So it could be from anything.
Okay. You know, a quote that really jumped out at me was where you said music is becoming like adults pretending to be children, and just, you know, not to like call anyone out or anything, but as an artist, you know, what is the appeal of trying to make that kind of music, do you think?
Yeah, you mean the
like as you see others making it, what do you see as the appeal to them?
People trying to accept the urban music strictly for escapism, you know what I mean? Like strictly to go to the club and pretend that, you know, you're rich, and to pretend that all of you are in the VIP or whatever. That escapism has a place in music, but it shouldn't be just that, you know what I mean? And so, I'm just like, that. It obviously, if you get those type of people, those are the people that are willing to frivolously spin, you know what I mean? And part of that includes your music, so that's a good thing. But if you deal with just that type of consumer, then you shortchange them, and you kind of underestimate them. You know what I mean? So I think that I know the classic songs throughout history that are great pop songs that have some content to them. You know what I mean? And so I think there's no big deal. People could check that out and still have the same kind of silly fun. You don't have to be beating the head with something where somebody seems to just think it's just stupid. You know what I mean? So I think you can have the same kind of fun. I know you can have the same kind of fun, and as long as it's easy. You know what I mean? As long as it feels easy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do.
No, that's a great point. You know, you've had huge accolades from the president and the first lady saying they're fans of your music through the years. What does that mean to you?
Oh man, it's a milestone for me. Like, I'm always gonna be able to say it. I use it as an intro in my show. I use his voice talking about me. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying about that's the type of listener I want. Not strictly, but yeah, it's good to know that somebody, you know, I'm thinking like, what kind of stuff does this guy listen to today? I'd like him to listen to me. I'd like to think that, you know, that if he's averse to just silly stuff all day, that, you know, if he wants somebody to kind of challenge him a little bit, that I'm honored that he would not listen to my lyrics and go, oh, this is silly. You know what I mean? You would think a person like that's serious, you know, more than most people, you know what I mean? More than me. So it's just something that's it's a confirmation of what I'm talking about.
Right. Cool. So tell me about this AWOL program you're a part of, your role in it, and kind of how it's impacted you.
Yeah, AWOL, All Walks of Life, nonprofit program, started in Savannah, Georgia, by my cousin, Davina, and Polo, her husband, and it's just I'm from Savannah, but I live in Atlanta, and the neighborhood I live in, though it's being like gentrified and stuff, there's a lot of kids that I've been living there a long time, so there's a lot of kids that I would see and talk to and be like, you know, if there were drug deals or whatever, I want to say stop doing that, but then I would never have no alternative. You know what I mean? And I wasn't really that invested in their life, so I felt kind of dumb saying stuff like that, just being around, just to be the guy to reprimand them all the time. And so I was always like, you know, as a side interest, like, well, what kind of stuff, how do you do that? Like, but that's not something I'm that good at doing. That's not my area of expertise. But going to Savannah and doing benefits for this program, I saw it develop, and one day, you know, going to this studio a couple of years ago, I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the thing that I wish I knew how to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and I saw it working. I saw it changing kids' lives. And so, me being in the bigger city of Georgia, Atlanta, you know, that was a goal of hers to bring it there and nationwide. Sat with her and watched documentaries and, you know, really saw her business plan for where she wanted to take it, and I wanted to be a part of it, because it's like, this is how I feel like I could help those kids, and it's not something that I came up with as my nonprofit because I'm an artist and you know, it's something I want to be involved in because it's a nonprofit that works, you know what I'm saying, and it's thorough, their business is taken care of. It's not a scam. You know, people look out for stuff like that nowadays. It's transparent, and the work is evident. So I'm proud to be part of AWOL, and I look forward to, you know, using whatever influence I have to take it wherever it could go.
That's a great thing. Mm-hmm. So just finally, you know, you've had the opportunity to travel the world and perform worldwide. What's been your favorite place to perform and, you know, put on a show?
Kenya right now.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite places to perform right now. Well, of course, I love performing in Atlanta. That's where I'm from. You know, everybody's been watching me grow, so people come. A lot of good friends. I see friends in the crowd, and I can do a lot of stuff that I can't do in a lot of other places because they know everything. You know what I mean? But Nairobi, Kenya, I had a great time there. Last year I went twice, and they embraced me there. And but a lot of places, but that place right now, I can't wait to get back there. Love y'all.
Cool. So that's all we got for you. Anything you'd like to add?
Love Out Loud, November 13th. It's an adventure.